What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Phaithful Phanatics show. Welcome to your fourth consecutive Victory Monday show of the year. But this one's going to be a little different. It is a Victory Monday. Do not get it twisted. It doesn't matter how pretty, how ugly, how indifferent those wins become. They're always celebrated, Scotty. But it's also going to be a little bit of a venting session, a little bit of a therapy session as we try to work through our thoughts and our emotions on the 4-0 Eagles as they come away with a 31-25 victory in Tampa Bay yesterday afternoon. I'm one half of your host, Dylan Davis. To my right, my faithful co-host, Scotty. Guys, first and foremost, to start the show, make sure to check us out on Twitter at DSM_media if you haven't already. Hit that follow button on X, and then check out the link tree in our bio. It will take you to every social media platform we're on: Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. But most importantly, make sure to check out the YouTube link that you see below me, the DSM-Media Philadelphia YouTube channel. Smash that subscribe button, like the video, share it with your friends, family, anyone that you may know that might enjoy the content. As you can see, it's the best and only spot, like my man D-Rab's doing right here, to get your thoughts, comments, and questions pulled up on the screen with us. Brother, happy Monday. The Birds are 4-0. And for 30 minutes, it looked pretty. It looked spectacular. Yeah. And then for the following 30 minutes, we got a lot to vent about. The complete opposite, a complete 180 of two halves from the previous week in LA. Yeah. Lots to discuss. Positives, negatives, ugliness. Let's get to it, but happy to be on here nonetheless. 4-0.
Yeah, no, I'm in the same boat, man. I'll go ahead and get to the forefront here. This is going to be a confusing ass episode for me, you, all Eagles fans out there right now, because there's just a ton of film floating around social media today, and you just get perspectives from all angles on the Eagles film, because like you said, it was two stories in one game when it comes to that Eagles offense specifically. So the film does not lie, and man, it's a lot to get into. But let's start out here. Victory Monday, man. Victory formation. We're 4-0. It's something to be excited about. It's something to be happy about as Eagles fans. We're not in the locker room. We're not the ones that are maybe wanting the ball more or maybe not understanding the play calling decision making. But we do not understand the play calling decision making. Let me get in front of that one. But nonetheless, man, it is a victory. We are still figuring things out as a team. It's very early on in the season. And I think it's just history. I think it's history creeping back in, man, because you look at previous seasons, and there's some things that look a little similar.
Would you be alluding to 2023? Is that what you'd be alluding to?
I'm kind of alluding to both, man. Like last season, there was a point where we wanted Nick Sirianni fired. Why did we want him fired? And then the season before that, we had a similar situation, the cryptic tweets, A.J. Brown wanting the ball, whatever. We thought there was this beef between AJ and Jalen, and that season ended in the way it ended, right? It was horrible. Last season, we had similar feelings about probably the same stretch. Like, we were probably at the same point last year. I think it was like week 5 against Cleveland or something, where he's yelling at the fans, and we're like, man, get this dude out of here. He's a nut. And obviously the season turned into what it turned into. So I think you can look at both seasons, find similarities, and you can look with optimism or pessimism
at what it can turn into. Like I was about to say to you, is that a us problem? Is that a fan base problem? Is that we're not patient, we want everything to be pretty, to be beautiful problem? But like you mentioned, because we were wrong last year. Like after New Orleans, even though it was a win, after Cleveland and him yelling at the fans, even though it was a win, I was tired of Nick Sirianni. I was fed up of the dude, and they go and win a Super Bowl. So clearly, Dylan was wrong. But you rewind a year further back, and they are 8-0, 9-1, 10-1, 11-1, whatever it was to start the season.
Yeah.
And the concerns kind of started to rear their ugly head in the final 6-7 weeks. So, is it a we problem, or are we just being spoiled? Because I think, to your point, like, not only are they 4-0, they've now won 20 of their last 21. Jalen Hurts has won 20 of his last 21 football games. And yes, it may not be the prettiest. And there was a lot to get into, especially in the second half yesterday, man. It's just very confusing, like you mentioned. But the bottom line, the trend is that the dude just isn't turning the football over. Like, if I could spin a positive out of the ugliness of the second half, is that the dude isn't turning the football over. I mean, yesterday you had Baker Mayfield throw an interception in a loss. You had Justin Herbert, who was undefeated, throw 2 picks in a loss. You had Daniel Jones, who was undefeated, throw 2 picks in a loss, so on and so forth.
Lamar fumble.
Lamar Jackson was god-awful in a blowout loss in Kansas City. The Ravens are now 1-3. The bottom line is a trend in Jalen Hurts' last 20 wins is that he's not throwing the ball to the other team, and the Eagles' defense and special teams are causing havoc and taking the ball away at a high number. And they just continue to win football games, man. If there's a positive to be spun out of it, it's definitely that.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And that's kind of what I wrote down on my paper here when I was getting my notes together. I think Jalen has been a positive this season. It's just weird that that's the case and the receivers are completely uninvolved. It's just weird. Like, it doesn't
I agree. Sense. Like, so I want to come back to Ginn's question, but I did want to go to D-Red's point. I didn't want to overlook him. He's basically, I think what he's trying to get at here is it's not normal in the NFL for a player as special and as talented as AJ Brown to not be needed. And that's not the right word. Needed's not the right word. He's most certainly needed on the field, even if it is decoy. 2 catches for 7 yards, 1 catch in week 1. It just his overall presence. But when I say needed in terms of 10 catches for 120 yards. When you have a player of that caliber, you're used to that, to those stats, to that production. And he's gotten his fair share of stats since he's become an Eagle. Let's not get that twisted, right? Yeah. But people aren't used to it because they continue to win games and how much talent is on this team. And the defense, which we'll get to, started to get shredded by Baker a little bit, but that defense was phenomenal in the first half, right? So
it was hot out there. Yeah,
it's a weird world, man. Where he is not quote unquote needed to put up monster numbers for a team to go win a championship, and other teams. CeeDee Lamb is needed in Dallas, right? Justin Jefferson is needed in Minnesota. The list goes on and on. He's a top 5 wide receiver that doesn't need to post 90 plus yards week in and week out for his team to win a game.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that statement. And I do think that that's on us. That's on, the media and the way we perceive some of the things that come out. But I also, I pose this question as well. Like, are we comparing ourselves to the rest of the league right now? Or are we just comparing ourselves to ourselves? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, to the standard or
to ourselves.
What our expectations are.
To ourselves.
There's nobody in the league that's playing like elite football right now. The Packers have lost 2 in a row. Well, Drew last night. You may as well call it a loss. And then they lost to Cleveland the week before. The Lions got smoked by the Packers week 1. The Bills are the only other team that's undefeated. Yeah. Josh Allen doesn't have weapons to get to that need to be force-fed the ball, so he doesn't have to worry about that. So it's like, there's nobody to really compare this team to right now.
It's holding it up to
the best team in the league. Like, still.
Right, and because to D-Rab's 4-0 point here, like, and to the comparison of 2023, well, look, we had concerns, but we ignored it because they were undefeated for so long, and then look, we were right?
Yeah.
That year, they started out playing Mac Jones, Kirk Cousins, 2 games versus Sam Howell, Zach Wilson in a game in which they lost. That defense was nowhere near the caliber of this year's defense. They were giving up 31, 34, 23, 28 in a bunch of different games.
This defense is much better. I agree.
As well.
I agree.
So this schedule, let's not get that understated here. Cowboys in Arrowhead, Rams in Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
4-0.
Yeah.
Ugly, but 4-0. So let's not understate that as well. This is not the Sam Howell-led Commanders 2 years ago that we're going to overtime with, but squeaking out a win, and we're going, well, a win's a win. This is as tough a schedule as a team has seen this year, and they're 4-0. So let's trust it a little bit. I'll throw this to you because you mentioned it, right? So Gint's asking, is there a world in which Colin Cowherd is correct and A.J. Brown is fed up? Doesn't want to be here. He forces Howie Roseman's hand. Trade me. I need out. Is there a world he's not here after the trade deadline this year? You add in his tweets, the lyrics, and these Bible verses that he puts out. He has come out and openly stated, mental health talk in the past. I'm not saying it's not that. My problem with it is like the trolling timing of it, if it is a problem. Because if he turns around and says, well, you guys turn everything into a problem. Look, you know, it fits your narrative. I was just tweeting about mental health. This song's about mental health. Brother, you know the timing in which you posted this and what just took place.
In the way it's going to be perceived.
And you pointed out his body language on the field this past Sunday.
Yeah.
To me earlier.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's AJ Brown's not going anywhere. I'm not worried about that. But something needs to be figured out between him and this offense.
If there hasn't been an open conversation between himself, Jalen, you could throw Smitty in there too, because Smitty's not crying. Nope. Let's just throw that out there. But
Saquon's not crying.
He's not. Now, that's the one thing I do want to get to here, and that being, nobody is playing perfect football right now for the Philadelphia Eagles. So I don't really feel like anybody on that team should be pointing
as immature as he is. Jalen Carter came out after the game yesterday and said, "I would rather suck in a win than be great in a loss." Yeah. And we feed off of.
I'd rather have a win than 6 sacks.
That's Jalen Carter. That's a younger, more immature Jalen Carter compared to a guy like AJ Brown. So.
He is in a different spot. Again, I do feel you. Like he does, but is he only in a different spot because he puts himself there? Like I'm not trying to be that guy, but we would not be talking about this in this light if he just simply does not tweet out that quote after the game. No. Like if he just doesn't do that and handles everything in-house, we wouldn't even know about it. We would still be talking about needing to get AJ Brown the ball though. Right. Right. We all, as a fan base, know that he needs to get the ball. Yeah. We get excited when AJ gets the ball. We love when AJ gets the ball. We got AJ jerseys. We love AJ. So I don't know where this like misunderstood or like unheard. Like it just doesn't need to be made public because it's not us.
He's almost underappreciated.
Right? Like by who?
Yeah. You
know?
Maybe Kevin Patullo. Maybe you're underappreciated.
Kevin Patullo. But you keep that in-house. That's between you guys. You don't need to put that on social media for him to know that.
Here's the problem with the social media post yesterday. Jalen and this offense went out of their way to hurt themselves in force-feeding you the ball.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts did not complete he went 15 of 16 for $130 in the first half. Todd Bowles in this defense had no answers.
Yeah.
He came out in the second half, went 0 for 8, did not throw for a single passing yard in the second half of this ball game, and threw about 6 of those 8 passes to A.J. Brown in the second half yesterday, which were all batted away or thrown incomplete.
Yeah. And, bro, I was sitting there watching it. I think I texted it to you yesterday. I was having a few beers. I think I texted it to you yesterday, but it almost looked like Jalen said, all right, we're going to throw you the ball. Yeah. Triple covered, double covered, doesn't matter. I'm going to throw the ball to you, and you better catch it, motherfucker. Like, let's just see how it works out, AJ. Look, we didn't score any points in the second half. So, we scored a tutty. I should take that back. But nonetheless, you get
a turnover. Off of
a short field. You get my point, though. And looking back on it, I doubt it. It's probably more or less Jalen really wants to get AJ involved in the game. But, man, you just sit there and look at, like, his 7 targets in the second half, and 5 to 6 of them are fucking, like...
They had almost no chance to be completed.
Brother, did you see his body language on the screen they ran for him?
No, no.
Bro, he got rocked in the backfield, like, around the line of scrimmage, and he just got up and he dropped the ball. He's just like this is how you're going to get me the ball. Why the fuck are you giving me the ball on the screen?
Right. And look, that's where I go back to the other side of defending him because I almost
exactly
I get it, right. Like
that's
the
why
first half against the Rams, he couldn't touch the ball. The second half, here I am, takes over the game, right? Strong ass mitts all over the place, taking plays, scoring touchdowns, right? This past week, like my question, we've been focusing the first 15 minutes of the show on the players, and it's well deserved, and the tweets and everything. But I gotta bring it back to this offensive coordinator, man. I've never seen something so head scratching.
Yeah,
bro, I was borderline glazing Kevin Patullo texting you in the first half.
Yeah,
glazing him. I mean, the creativity within the offense, the 100%. Shovel pass to Dallas Goedert, the little screen to Dallas Goedert, the fake tush push to say. I mean, my God, it was so creative. Like, you realize your quarterback went 15 of 16 in the first half. That's how open guys were getting in your scheme. That's what was. Yeah. And then, my God, the route concepts that you were sending me earlier. Shout out to Shane for breaking them down and just but then it goes to the other side of, well, look at the hustle, look at the lack of effort in the routes being ran. But at the same time, look, you have to give.
If you don't believe in the route you're running, like
you have to give 100%. I know that, but if like you're AJ Brown, you're getting rocked on a screen, like, bro, let me be AJ Brown. Like, let me run what I like.
Yeah.
I go back and forth, man, where it's like, it's the effort, it's the body language, but at the same time, what is this dude doing?
Yeah. And that's the confusing part, because like I said earlier, there was the one play where, Jalen calls out the blitz to the right coming for Saquon to block it. And this motherfucker goes to the left side and starts blocking immediately. Blitzer comes in and just smashes Jalen for an incomplete pass. Like, there's misses all over the field. I think I sent you the video of the Jalen QB pull. It was an option play to Saquon. Yeah. He pulls it, runs it to the outside. AJ doesn't even attempt to block this little ass corner from getting to Jalen. Jalen gets smacked as he's sliding on the ground, and it looked like he got concussed in that moment, man. Like, I do wonder.
I texted you this earlier. Completely shocked that
didn't check him at all.
Didn't pull him out, bro. Because how many quarterbacks do you see like hit their head on the ground or take a hit and they bounce up fine, but they still get pulled? They still get told by the officials to get out, and they're pissed that they have to go in the medical tent, and then they run out. They end up being fine. Jalen like almost didn't get up for 2 seconds.
I swear, bro.
His world was rocked for a second.
I swear. Seeing stars, seeing flying birds and shit.
I was shocked that they didn't make that call to get him out of there. So look, it could have been a mix of a lot of things, but that's my biggest frustration. It's not like the Eagles over the last 2 weeks have squeaked out wins against the Rams and the Bucs, and it's been an ugly 8 quarters.
Right.
The Jekyll and Hyde of this offense and Kevin Patullo's play calling and the rhythm. I mean, my God, man, the one drive he comes out and they go Saquon handoff, Jalen keeper, Saquon handoff. Then the next drive they come out and they go drop back. What, dude, you're allowed to mix in the run and the pass together. I don't know if you knew that, but like, that's the part that bothers me. You have no creativity against the Rams in the first half. You come out and look like the offense cannot be denied in the second half. You come out against the Bucs and continue that trend and run them out of their own building for the first 30 minutes, and then come out and look like you guys don't know how to run an offense again. I don't get it. I do not get it.
Do you know what is concerning as I sit here and I'm just kind of like retracing our conversation so far on the show? It just feels so much like 2 years ago, bro, when I'm watching that Brian Johnson offense.
The offense.
And what I'm trying to say is, it feels like Sirianni's offense. Like, it looks like Sirianni's calling the plays. Like,
I was going to say this to you last week.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've seen Patullo with the play call, with the play sheet in front of his mouth as he's been talking to. Like, I could be wrong. Maybe I'm imagining.
So you do think he's calling it?
So I believe I've seen that. Like, in my mind, I remember seeing Patullo on television, like with the call sheet over here. Yeah. But if I'm wrong, that's what I was going to say to you last week. Like, after Nick came out of the presser and said, no, Kevin was calling plays in the second half. Yeah. I was going to say to you, the first half looked like Nick Sirianni's old offense. And but then yesterday wouldn't make any sense, because if it was Kevin Patullo's offense in the first half, why the hell would it go to Nick? Why would it go backwards in this sense? So it's like, it's getting a little conspiracy theory-ish.
Yeah, and that's what I hate about it. That's what I hate about it. That's what I hate about not keeping it in-house. Like,
right.
I have no complaints that AJ Brown is frustrated. I think he's valid in feeling that way. I would be too. I am. Like, right. I just think you keep that tweet to yourself, man, and you just move on. Like, and I do want to say this. It was hot as hell out there yesterday. Those guys were probably exhausted after that game. maybe the heat got the best of these guys. Like maybe the tempers flared up a little bit more than what they usually would. But AJ Brown, the biggest problem, man, and we don't have to like harp on it too much more. We can talk more about like the actual play call in an actual game. But the thing with AJ Brown, he is a psychology graduate. Like he graduated majoring in psychology. Like he knows what this shit does to people. He knows how the mind works. So he's very like I just feel like he
still reads like a lot of like the self-help books.
He does though.
Like that shit. So it's like you understand. You understand. Yeah. That's my problem with the timing. You understand it. Don't pull it up. I'm not acknowledging him today because I'm not acknowledging him today. He can stay in the background. No one needs to see it. I'm not acknowledging him today because he was nowhere to be found last Monday. We were here last Monday. Nowhere to be found after the comeback and the way QB1 looked in the second half.
That's hilarious.
He's here today.
It's hilarious. Turmoil drama.
Yeah. I won't acknowledge it.
Fair enough.
But yeah, look, I think that's my biggest problem because the annoying part about it, man, is like we should just be here celebrating the fact that this team is 4-0, haven't even played their best ball yet, and looking at the schedule in which they're 4-0 and the upcoming schedule. Like you get Denver at home, you get Jackson Dart and the Giants twice in 3 weeks, and you get either J.J. McCarthy coming off injury or Carson Wentz in between all of it.
Yeah.
Like there is a very, very, very real chance your Eagles are 8-0 heading into Lambeau against the Packers. And like that shouldn't be understated.
What would you say to this percentage?
I feel like Ginn's very concerned that he's not. 97% he's an Eagle after the deadline. 97% he's an Eagle past this year and continuing to move forward. I think it's just we've seen the blowouts. It's so early in the season, bro. He's gonna have the moments in which AJ Brown goes 9 receptions for 130 yards and a touchdown. There's going to be more games like this. It's just going to continue to happen.
Yeah, no, I do agree. I would
go 95%. I can tell he's worried, man. And I'll say this: he goes. I don't think you win a Super Bowl.
If he's traded, yeah, I agree. I don't think you win the Super Bowl without AJ. I think he's that important. Oh, sorry.
Not my bad. I was clicking on the same time. Yeah, I agree. And I guess like trade, like if someone was taking on that contract at the deadline,
they would have to send something.
Back.
Like, yeah, it's whatever.
I'm just not all that worried about it. I don't think he's.
It's one of those
Jeff Kerr tweeted like an hour ago that from his source or sources, I have no idea. I believe it was Jeff Kerr. I'll try to find it now. That the AJ Brown tweets were directed at somebody within the Eagles organization, not like an overall issue, apparently. Now, whether that maybe that person within the organization is the offensive coordinator.
Right.
But let me...
it's just weird, man.
I don't want to spend too much time trying to find it.
It's just weird. Like when I do think about the quote that he posted back and think about, kind of what he's getting at, it would be frustrating to see like Dallas Goedert get schemed open for 2 touchdowns in the same game. Like, do you know what I mean? Like it would get annoying to see plays drawn up for other players on the roster that are not as good as me. Yeah. So I do get that side of it, man. I really do.
Yeah. I mean,
winning cures all. It cures all, but I do think we need that big AJ Brown explosion.
I agree, and I do agree. I do agree overall with Ginn's point. Wide receivers are the difference, right? In terms of the personality. Like Tyreek Hill left Kansas City after winning many Super Bowls. Last year, with all that money in Miami, literally left the field before the last regular season game was over, right? Like Jerry Jeudy bit Russell Wilson. That's Jerry Jeudy we're talking about. Jerry Jeudy went after Russell Wilson in Denver 2 years ago because he couldn't get the ball. They're a different breed. And I'm not saying AJ is that level of of diva, right? I'm not saying he takes things that far, but that would be the only concern of him wanting out. But again, bro, like fans can be so short-sighted. Haters can be so short-sighted when they talk about, oh, he has no one to give him the ball, and it's a shot at the quarterback and all. Since A.J. Brown has been an Eagle, he's been to 2 Super Bowls with a Super Bowl win, scored in both Super Bowls, and has been named to different all-pro teams with over 14, 15, 1,200 receiving yards in all these years. I think one year he had 9 or 10 or double-digit touchdowns. Like, A.J. Brown has gotten plenty of his since he's become an Eagle. So he cannot be that short-sighted to where he feels like he's not valued or whatever, man.
Yeah, no, I completely agree, man. I completely agree. There's that little part of me that like wonders, like he did a season with Saquon, dominating carries and offense based around running.
But Saquon's not really dominating.
He's not
right now.
He's not.
It's not the same. It's not the same thing. And I don't know. I hate that this is where the conversation is. And I know you and I could dictate where the conversation goes, and we don't have to be talking about this.
Right.
But like it should be a celebration and
I hate that
and instead it's not. It's another win. It's another day after a win talking about drama and the what ifs this happens, and it's frustrating. But yeah, damn, I almost went to his comment, but then I remembered I'm ignoring him today. I'm going to give in at some point. What's going on, Slim?
It's good, brother.
Let me ask you about the defense, bro. Because like no one's really been talking about that. And that's what I said is that's like the true difference to me from like the 2023 team where people, oh, well, I'm seeing the same issues within the offense. It's Brian Johnson 2.0, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let me take you back to 2023, right? There were some positives defensively, but week 1, 20 is not terrible, but they let up 20 to Mac Jones and the Patriots. They let up 28 to Kirk Cousins at the Link and the Minnesota Vikings. They allowed Sam Howell to go into overtime and put up 31. They allowed Sam Howell to put up 31 again on October 29th. They allowed Dallas to put up 23. Like, this defense ain't letting anybody put 31, 31, 34, 28 up against them right now.
No, I feel that. I really do. And I do want to shout out Keely Ringo. I thought he was pretty good. I'll
give him a pass for that one. Keely was good. Keely was
good. He was in the right spot at the right time. He played with some aggressiveness. He does need to, of course, work on the tackling, but I liked what I saw from him. I thought he looked better than Adoree or Jacorian Bennett when they've been out there. So that's a plus. Quinyon Mitchell, Coop DeJean, those guys, obviously, we talk about them all the time, studs. Quinyon, arguably his best game of his career, I would say.
Yeah.
And Coop, I mean, maybe not the best because he obviously had a pick 6 in the Super Bowl. It's hard to top that.
Should have had a pick. Again, I called it on the pregame show. Should have had a goddamn pick in this one.
He should have had a pick.
He was all over the field.
Can I throw one concern with the defense out there?
I'm interested. I'm intrigued. Who is it?
The pass rush.
All right. Yeah.
I want a little bit more. It doesn't feel like anybody is like standing out, if that makes sense. Maybe that's a good thing. As the season goes on, you just have a bunch of guys that'll be able to get there. But
yeah. It's a good point. They had the timely sack. Was it Ojomo yesterday that came up the middle and smacked Baker late in the game on that? I believe it was the actual
the Jahad Campbell touchdown, the Bucky Irvin touchdown over Jahad Campbell. That play, for example, if we just get pressure there, like Baker just had all day on that play to see the
also
field.
As much, and because I'm about to give the kid major props because he's been unbelievable, and the pick in the end zone saved the game, right?
Yeah.
I love Vic. I don't know how Jahad Campbell gets put on it. I don't know if it was a zone that broke down, if it was lined up to be man or what. However, Jahad Campbell ends up one-on-one with Bucky Irving down the left boundary. I don't quite grasp that one.
On the sideline.
But that's the point, right? Like, all right, they put up 25 points. Really, they put up 23 because we ran through the back of the end zone to end the game with a safety.
Yeah, we did do
and that. 14 or 2 of the touchdowns came off of one throw, big plays where rookies made a mistake, right? Campbell against Irving, which is not much of a mistake, probably just more of a mismatch. And then you had Makuba getting all sorts of turned around and missing the ball on the Egbuka play. So, The defense has been great, man. The special teams have been phenomenal. And I think that's the hard part about balancing it, is because on the pregame show, we simply talked about people have lost sight of what is most important in this league.
Yeah.
Oh, it's boring. They're boring. They're not exciting to watch. I like winning football. And okay, Baker Mayfield threw like 270-plus passing touchdowns yesterday. Baker Mayfield, threw for almost 300 yards, right? Bucky Irving was spectacular. Special teams made a play and scored, and Baker turned the ball over in the end zone. That's the difference. That's what winning teams do. Last week, it was the special. So it's like, it wasn't pretty in the second half. I get it more than anybody, guys. I needed 70 passing yards from Jalen Hurts in the second half.
Double down on it.
Double down on it. Live bet it. Plus juice. I was amped at halftime.
Didn't get a single yard.
And throw completion. I more so than anyone get the frustrations. But I like and will continue to like watching winning football.
Just the most weird shit that could happen with this, like such a talented roster.
All right, I'll give him this one. I'll take him out of timeout and suspension for a second, because he's not like they have been good. I pointed that out to you week one. Like Uche affected the game but didn't get home. I think, like, to your point about getting home and the sacks, they only had 2. They've been very close in all 4 games. I think that's something to be okay with. Like, I think as the season goes on, you will see those numbers continue to creep up. Uche's been getting pressure. Zadarius Smith is getting pressure. Remember, Nolan Smith got his hand on the back of either Dak or Stafford in one of the games and almost caused a turnover. Like, they're just not quite getting there.
Yeah.
But their pass rush is effective in a sense, if that makes any lot.
Yeah. I definitely feel that. There's just moments, I guess. But it was hot out there once again in that second half. Those guys are getting worn down. Jalen Carter's obviously playing with an injury right now, so he's not at his full strength and, doing what he should be doing as far as disrupting that defensive line. But, I feel you. I definitely think it should get better. Yeah, and I saw the other comment, Jalix Hunt. There's a reason I picked him yesterday, and it's because of that reason. He's been missing. So, like, I was just asking for him to show up in this game, maybe give us something, but I have not seen that guy at all, quite honestly. Throughout the first 4 weeks. But no, I think the defense has been astounding. I think you look at what we're working with and some of the young pieces that we've had to insert into that starting lineup early, the Makubas, the Jahad Campbells, they're playing pretty solid. Like Makuba
had made a rookie mistake. He got turned around, lost the ball, let a guy get behind it. It's going to happen, right? Like, we watched C.J. Gardner-Johnson, who's not a rookie, make that mistake in Brazil last year against Green Bay, right? 2 times. Missed a tackle on one and then got beat on another, right? Lost sight of the ball. So, shit happens. All in all, the defense gave up 23 points if you take away the game-ending safety from the punter. So, it's like, people got to relax. I agree, bro. It was that's
what blows me. Yeah, that's what confuses me.
This kind of ties into TR's first question. Because it should have been this. It was heading this direction. And then the OC got in his own way. Like, I don't know, bro. And I've seen some of Shane's tweets who does break down the film and, does an incredible job at it. But I've seen a couple of different people say, like, not just that last week, but in other scenarios, like, the Eagles' offense isn't really changing their route concepts. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not, blah, blah, blah. The problem with that, Kevin, Nicholas, is the first half, okay, you had success. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
The problem is there's a guy across the sideline who gets to play the same chess match you're in and adjust. So if Tampa adjusts, which I've seen a lot of the fact that Tampa really didn't blitz in the second half, they threw a lot of 3- and 4-man blitzes at Jalen and threw different looks in the secondary, you have to then pivot off of what they're doing and find different ways to scheme number 11 open or get 26 involved in the game. You can't just keep running the same curl routes over and over and over again.
No, I agree, man. I agree. There's 2 things that came to my mind as you were talking there. Oh, my goodness. The one thing slipped my mind, but let me throw this one out there. A.J. Brown aside, right? A.J. Brown wanting the ball aside. Looking at this offense, looking at the middle of the field and how it could be utilized. Obviously, Goddard gets a little bit of exposure there, but Dotson, right? And we're still not seeing like him involved. Saw Mechie involved a little bit more yesterday. He had a couple catches, but Do you think, and this will sound crazy, do you think they're missing like a legit like slot receiver?
It is an interesting
point. It sounds crazy.
I'm looking back at yesterday's game, and I'm trying to think like how much was Jahan Dotson on the his snap count could have been extremely high. Maybe I'm just being dumb and not paying attention. But like, all right, another guy, for example, and I know how the debut went against the Rams returning kickoffs.
Yeah.
But you traded draft capital for Tank Bigsby. Tank Bigsby is a talented football player. Why is he not spelling Saquon Barkley when Saquon Barkley comes out of the game? He can't get 2 to 3 touches in a football game.
Right.
He's a talented young running back.
Right.
John Mechie, I know he caught a pass or two yesterday at the sticks, whatever. How do you not spread the defense out with all the talent you have and say everyone has to win their matchup defensively or we're going to pick you apart?
Right. And it just does not look like that. It looks like guys run routes as like decoys, like knowing they're decoys.
Yeah.
I wanted to pull this up. No, I'm not saying that. What I'm honestly thinking here and what I'm wondering, there's a big ass fly in here. What I'm honestly wondering here, like how often does AJ and Smitty, how often do they line up outside? We would have to pull up the numbers, get into PFF and see. I'm curious how often they line up outside versus lining up one of them on the inside at slot receiver. And
AJ, it's almost all the time on the
always
outside,
on the outside. Yeah. Smitty, he's a great route runner. Yeah. He could run that slot. Obviously, you don't want him getting hit across the middle a bunch, but I don't know. I just wonder about that. And then what was the other thing? Oh, the offensive line. It's been put in the comments several times.
Yeah, I was going to get back to this. It's not a terrible point. I guess to follow up on this, it's a good point. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that after like 2 possessions of 3 and outs of no movement of the line not getting any push, you then still have to pivot. Regardless if you have a 3-possession lead, 2-possession lead, whatever, you still then have to pivot. So he's got a great point.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was so much Patullo, just getting in his own way or saying, all right, we put in all that work in the first half. We're up big here in the second half. Let's do what we do best. Let's use clock. Let's run the ball down their throats. And then they weren't getting any push because they weren't. Saquon was not effective in the second half. Like I mentioned, the one possession went Saquon carry, Jalen carry, Saquon carry, get off the field.
Hey, bro.
But then you have to, when that's not working, go back to being aggressive.
Did you see I keep like referencing Shane's video. I mean, like you said, he's good at what he does, breaking the film down. The video of us running the same exact run play 2 times in a row, like the exact same play, like the exact same player goes in motion to the exact same side of the play before, and they run the ball down the exact same hole behind the exact same fullback in motion into that hole, and they're just running Saquon into a brick wall.
Yeah,
like
you're right. That's the other thing, right? There's no creativity within the money.
The one time he ran outside, we scored a tutty.
Yeah, so that is the frustrating part. We did talk about this earlier, TR, before you jumped in. Like that hit, we were shocked that they didn't pull Jalen off the field and make him get tested for a concussion. Could be something. But let's all right. I agree because it's something I think I texted you this week 1 and 2. Like I thought they were getting bullied a little bit, right? And that's not normal. But let's think about this for a second. I think that's to the point. They're just clearly injured.
Yeah. Landon.
Like, we know Landon Dickerson's like really banged up.
Yeah.
And you had a game yesterday again in which Lane Johnson comes out at like halftime and Tyler Steve. Yeah. So your right half of the line yesterday was Matt Pryor and Fred Johnson, which I'm not hating on Fred Johnson. He came in 2 weeks ago and saved the game.
Yeah.
That's not Lane Johnson.
When you don't have him next to the starting guard, it can look different for sure.
Yeah. So
but I'm thinking back to last year, and it's a great point that TR made regarding the play calling, and you have the lead, you're trying to turn the clock because you remember last season, man, we used to get frustrated about the same shit about like closing games out. And there were a few games where teams kind of made it closer than what we would be comfortable with towards the end of the game because the Eagles just go into this risk averse, like conservative ass offense. And they just refuse to take risks.
And look, I know it's
just
Kellen.
Can't run the ball right
I
now.
know it was Kellen. It's not Patullo, right? So he didn't go.
Right.
He's not going with that idea essentially. But where'd the Super Bowl go, bro? Where'd the aggressiveness? Where'd the foot on the throat go? Where'd the if we score here, we bury them. Okay, just call the play. Like where did that go? Patullo came out. My grandpa said this to me yesterday as we were watching the game. He's like, I heard him on an interview say, we're always on the gas. Like we're always aggressive. What are you talking about?
What?
So,
what?
Again, this is where it gets frustrating to like the confusing. You're 1000% correct. But they did it in the first half.
I know. It's weird.
You schemed up and called plays in which your quarterback threw one incompletion and it had 130 yards at the half. That's phenomenal. The 2 quarters before this game, you schemed up and ran routes and called plays in which you scored, 3 touchdowns in the second half and a comeback win and couldn't be stopped. That's what I'm not grasping. It's in there. It is somewhere inside of him.
Yeah.
To be creative and call these plays and scheme guys open.
Super creative in the red zone.
Shut it down.
Super creative in the red zone. There's somehow this team has mastered the red zone. I think I don't know what they were in the red zone yesterday, so I can't confirm this. But going into that game, red zone trips, the Eagles scored 100% of them in the first 3 games. Don't know how they fared yesterday. I didn't look into that. But it's just interesting. It's like they all of a sudden have this full playbook available once you're inside the 10-yard line. Now you can do tush push fakes and shit. Like it's awesome. You see the Dallas Goedert like screens that we never saw before. It's really conflicting. And once again, I'll go back to that point of like being able to scheme the ball to Dallas Goedert, but not being able to do it to AJ Brown. It's weird. Like,
can we
I don't know.
Can we run a slant?
You
just run a slant.
Right.
Run a slant. Run a slant.
I swear it's always a curl or a go route or a stop and go. Like it's a three routes that they run. A 7-yard curl. Even if a 5-yard curl, you need 7 yards for the first down. My bad. 5-yard curl. You need 7 to get the first down.
This works in some relationships. This works in some marriages, but Russian wants some spice in his relationship. He wants some spice in his relationship. He doesn't want the same old thing every night.
We look basic, and I think it frustrates other teams' fan bases more because we do win.
I meant to ask that to Nobu. It's coming up in his emoji on my screen. I don't know if you can see it, Scotty. As a blank, I think it's supposed to be an emoji. As a blank fan, Patullo's too conservative play calling. Are you an Eagles fan, or is that an emoji for a different team?
I think I think I saw it earlier. I think it's an eagle. Yeah, that's an eagle.
All right, it's coming up as it's cut out on my screen, so I couldn't see it. But
yeah, it's an eagle.
Let's see. But you're right. So this is a positive. They've been if not the best, one of the best red zone efficient teams this year. All they do is score touchdowns when they're in the red zone. When the defense gets a takeaway, when the special teams gets a takeaway in opponent territory, they punch them in the mouth and come away with 6. They're not settling for field goals. Again, that goes back to the winning football, the being efficient, the winning the turnover battle. So
it's weird, man. Let me ask you this.
It's been good. It's just too inconsistent.
Let me ask you this. Jalen Hurts specifically, this season so far, 4 games so far, what would you give him a rating out of 10? Like, just on his play, like not thinking about play calling and having to get the ball to certain players, just his play, focusing on winning the football game. Right. How do you think he's played?
Well, I mean, at that point, I have to still give him a B+, A-. Because that's what he's doing.
And I was thinking like a 7, 7.5.
That's right. You said out of 10, and I went to letter grade. So
you letter grading. I mean that matches to an extent. C to B.
You got a 5 and a 4 in the comments. I'm talking because if you're giving the 5 or the 4, then I'm implementing the hand he's being dealt with in the play calls. I'm not seeing Jalen Hurts missing a bunch of throws. He's not holding the ball too long and taking sacks. He hasn't turned the ball over. They're 4-0. From Jalen Hurts' standpoint, the comeback 2 weeks ago when he was let to go sling it. Right. I can agree with you and with Gint and Martian if it's the overall package. But if you're saying that guy, exclude what the OC is calling, the routes that are let me ask you this. If it's a 4 out of 10, Martian, what's he doing wrong? He's not holding the ball too long and taking sacks. He's not throwing the ball to the wrong team. He's not missing much on his deep balls. He missed out of bounds to AJ
yesterday. He missed maybe two.
Before yesterday, he's been immaculate on the deep ball. Like, again, he was 15 of 16 in the first half when the offense was free flow. Like, I'm just
interested, man. I'm interested how they came to 4 or 5 because, I came to.
I just think that's very low. Like, if your quarterback was playing 4 out of 10 football, you're not 4-0. I hate to break that to you.
Yeah, he hasn't turned the ball over yet this season.
Yeah,
what would a turnover do to his rating?
I'm
you know what I mean?
Like, how do you get to a 4 simply off of his play?
Not telling.
All right, fair enough.
If we're taking credit away,
if he needs to be more in control, if he needs to be more in control at the line, hell, take over like Peyton Manning used to do. Obviously, I'm not, comparing Jalen to the genius that Peyton was, but like, if you want him to be more of a leader, like in that sense, and take over control and start taking matters into his own hands, fine. I hear you. Maybe he needs to at some point. But then do we go down the road of dysfunction a little bit? When the captain and QB starts becoming so insubordinate, he's just not calling anything.
Yeah,
the
not
OC keeps putting in his ear. So I don't know. I don't think that he's been bad really at all. Because again, all right, the second half he was 0 for 8 for 0 yards.
Yeah.
How much of the incompletions to AJ are solely on Jalen making that decision or the play like this? Like, I don't know. I'm not that guy.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough.
We agree here for sure.
Yeah, and that's what I meant earlier. Like, do we compare ourselves to the rest of the league or do we compare ourselves to like our expected standard? Because the rest of the league, there's nobody that's like outside of Josh Allen, man. He's playing lights out. Like, throwing for 300 yards a game, Josh Allen in the competition they're playing, but there's nobody else.
Herbert was lights out until this past week. I think he threw 2 interceptions.
Turned the ball over
against the Giants.
It's the Giants.
Baker Mayfield going into this week. Analyst on ESPN said, "I trust Baker Mayfield more. He's more when the game matters most. It's Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield throws it to Jahad Campbell in the end zone in a 1 or 2 possession game late in the fourth quarter." Let's see. I meant to go back to HP's point. What's going on, brother? It's a problem, man. It certainly is a problem. But then I saw TR comment earlier, and I think he's right too. Like, it's a combination of the play calls and the concepts. Yeah. But then like you're telling me no matter how trash a call here for a curl route seems to be, AJ Brown can't win 1-on-1 one time yesterday afternoon. He can't win one 1-on-1 battle. His effort is 110% against whoever is across the line of scrimmage from him, and he can't get open one singular time in this game.
Right.
That doesn't add up to me.
He's getting no separation when you actually review.
And on some of those passes where there was double coverage, or whether it's a zone and 2 guys came to the ball or whatever, and Jalen forced it, I'm not naive enough to think that if he was double covered, Smitty's not winning any routes and Goddard's not winning any routes and Jalen's ignoring them when they win a route.
Right.
I'm not going that far. So, I mean, I don't know. It's a very confusing time because as much as I'm frustrated with Kevin Patullo and a second half like yesterday and a first half like the Rams game, this team is still the best team in football. And if people want to go too overboard with it, I don't know what to tell you.
I'm trying to find, because I know we are going back to the AJ point over and over, but it's also when you do compare it to the other teams and you look at how other wide receiver ones are used, right? And I'm going to show you Puka's route tree here if you can see it. This is
I saw this earlier. Yes.
all the routes that Puka Nacua ran yesterday. Yeah. And if we pulled this up for AJ, it would look like it would look stupid. It would look idiotic. I'm trying not to use the wrong word there because it just looks it looks like a little slow, man. But looking at this Puka and just thinking, obviously Sean McVay's looked at as this wizard offensively in the NFL. He gets his wide receiver one the ball massive, massive amounts. This man had 15 targets yesterday, 13 receptions.
Yeah.
If Puka, and this is no disrespect to Puka, he's a top 5 receiver from the looks of it right now, top 3 maybe.
Yeah.
If you can get Puka the ball, you can get AJ Brown the ball. Correct. And that's my problem, man.
Correct.
Watching this weekend,
fucking AJ Brown. What if you gave Smitty that route tree?
Right. That route tree.
Let them
that's
lose.
A great point.
That's the problem. Gint saying, "Are they winning because of or in spite of Jalen?" I'm going to be a little indifferent here. I think I'm going to take the easy way out first and foremost and say they're winning as a team. Here's why: you don't beat the Rams without Jalen, but you don't beat the Rams without the special teams and what they were able to do this week. You opened up this game to, like you texted me earlier, with you opened up 7-0 3 minutes into the game because your special teams blocked a punt and returned it. You had an interception on defense. You had so they're winning as a whole, but it's definitely more so because of the quarterback instead of in spite of. The running game ain't getting going.
Yeah.
The receivers aren't getting open. The play calls are horrible. So what would they be winning because of on offense? They're winning because the ugly little things matter. Again, he's not taking sacks like that. He's not holding on to the ball too long. He's not turning the football over. So it's not necessarily, he's been lights out. That's why they're winning, but they're definitely not winning in spite of how he's playing. They're winning in spite of the running game not getting going. They're winning in spite of A.J. Brown having 2 catches and 1 catch in multiple weeks. Yeah. It's not in spite of the quarterback.
Yeah, no, I tend to agree with that as well. And like I said, I gave Jalen a 7 out of 10 to start the season here. And I'm just thinking about the way he's used his legs. I'm thinking about him looking a little bit quicker when he uses his legs this year. It looks like he's in maybe the quickest he's been in a while.
My problem, not my problem with Gint's question, because I'm not saying it's annoying or dumb or anything, but what I'm saying, it's the same conversation we've been had. It's almost like the question mark of Jalen Hurts. What kind of quarterback is he? Are they winning because of it? Blah, blah, blah. I just don't I don't know how many times we need to be shown what he can do. Second half of last week, first half of this week. I think it's very clearly there's a restraint. When things are bad, there's a restraint on what these players are being told to go out there and do, right? There's a restraint on AJ and Smitty in their route concepts. There's a restraint on Jalen and pushing the ball down the field, because when they do so, they thrive. It's not like when they do so, he can't complete passes or he's turning the football over on a go route. They tear people up when they push the ball down the field. It's like they're just not being allowed to for halves of games.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. I think people the problem right now, I think, and the reason we're talking about Jalen right now is because of the way that second half looked. And I'll be honest, he didn't throw the ball well in the second half.
No.
But he was under a lot of pressure, and he did get hit, and I think he was concussed at a certain point. And the other thing I'll mention is, once again, when you look at AJ, it looked like they were forcing him the football, man. There was this. I think we said it to each other at a certain point. They did not target anybody else in the fucking second half at a certain point. He had been targeted 5 to 6 times in a row between different
They only threw the ball 8 times in the second half total, and I think 6 or 7 went to.
He had 6 targets. He had a total of 9 targets. I think he had at least 6 to 7 in the second half. Yeah. So the offense wasn't running.
There's an overall. Get
AJ the ball. I think that became an issue in the second half, forcing him the ball. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know. It's hard. There's a lot of different pieces moving. So
to Gint's point, yes, I am, because again, I'm not. I don't know. I don't think through 4 weeks, right? So what's that? 16 quarters, Scotty? I would say that through 16 quarters, you could question Jalen Hurts' play in 2 or 3 of them. Like yesterday, like the second quarter, even though the offense was bad, the play calls are bad, you could question the throws to AJ, putting the ball in harm's way when it's in double teams, stuff like that. You can question that. Outside of that, there is one problem with this team, and it's why is the offense so vanilla?
Yeah.
And why are the routes being ran this way?
No, I agree. He wears that, I believe, so his kids can find him on the field, I believe, to like stand out from the other players.
Probably, yeah, because he
used to wear like the pink cleats and stuff.
Before. Yeah,
and they banned those, so now he just wears the red like wristband on his thing. But...
And to Gint's point, and to D-Rab's point down here, like playing his best when he needs to, like just being able to flip that switch. And I'm not saying that's necessarily sustainable. You don't want to have to come from behind against a team like the Rams and stuff like that. But like, to the question of, are you confident in that? Until I'm shown otherwise, yeah, I'm going to be confident in that. Like we've won 20 of our last 21 games. Like this is getting like to historic levels at this point.
Yeah.
So to kind of bring it all together, right? To bring this therapy session close to a close here. We have the right to be frustrated and annoyed with the offense and what Kevin Patullo is doing and the way it's looked at times.
Yeah.
But we are a little spoiled at some points with how far we take it.
Yeah.
They're not, again, they're not beating. They're not 4-0 because they beat Sam Howell twice and Kirk Cousins and Mac Jones. They're 4-0 beating the Cowboys, the Chiefs, the Bucs, and the Rams. So
yeah. I do want to ask you, man. Because to Gint's question earlier, I would probably say no, they're winning despite the offensive coordinator, right? The play call.
Correct. Yes.
They're winning despite that. Is that something you can fix in season? And the only reason I asked that is because we asked this in 2023 with Brian Johnson, because at certain points it becomes, this isn't just it's not just, well, it is just a scheme, but it's an ideology, right? Like it's the way one looks at the football field and breaks it down.
He believes
in
his
this
way. Yeah.
So he, in his head, he might be thinking, no, we need to execute the plays better. We're going to keep running the same plays. We need to execute. This works.
All right. Let me wrap it up here. To your point, is that a concern of mine? Yes. Like that is the biggest concern. Can you win down the road? Can you win playoff games? Continue beating these great teams, these good teams, if your play caller continues to frustrate you and get in your way. That's the concern. But let me go back to the genius that was Kellen Moore of last year.
Yeah.
The first 4 weeks. Now, Green Bay, we scored 34 points. Jalen turned the ball over like 3 times. The offense had a lot of big moments in that game.
Yeah.
But after the Green Bay game, this Eagles offense led by Kellen Moore, who we all praise and love, like we wish he was back, not New Orleans right now. This offense put up 21 points at home against the Falcons in that loss. They put up 15 points without scoring more than 3 before the fourth quarter in New Orleans against the Saints. Now they were injured and played the Bucs. They put up 16 in that loss. It's kind of hard to get frustrated with all the weapons missing. And then the game where it started to get turned around, they scored 20 against the Browns in that win where Nick was yelling at the fans. And if I remember correctly, I can click right here and see. Wasn't there a special teams play that factored in here? Was there a special teams touchdown in this one? Let's see, AJ Brown
had to be because the offense was horrible in that one.
Oh no, it was reversed. I knew something happened. No, Rodney McLeod blocked us and returned it for a field goal before halftime. That's what it was. But regardless, so 21, 15, 16, and 20 in 4 of the first 5 games of last year.
Yeah.
Add in the concerns against Carolina when they scored 22. So a third of last year, were we happy with the play calls?
Right.
With the offense? All I would say, do I have confidence in Kevin Patullo? No.
Right.
But let's give it a little bit of breathing room and time before we start saying we cannot win with this with him here. Like
Yeah, I think we like at the end of the day, the offensive line like needs to be better. I think that's a starting point. Maybe they can get together and work together to figure that out. Because I mean, as you and several others have insinuated, they're not getting the push that they've been getting the last couple of years. Obviously, some pieces moved around, but yeah, Brian, that play, man, it really makes me like question a lot. Like honestly, like AJ's body language, first of all, if you want to call that an attempt to block, he did not attempt to block on that play. You know Jalen is running a keeper right there. You know he's coming to your side, and you don't block. Right. Then he gets clocked. He looks like he's concussed or hampered to even get up, and his teammate doesn't even help him up. It is a little weird. It's a little weird, man. But we've been
here. Then again, when we're on the we're on the seesaw of how we feel about AJ Brown, if he's right or wrong to be like this, it swings me back the other way. Like, I don't care how frustrated you are.
You don't
I don't care that you're not getting the ball in this scenario. Hustle and protect your teammate, your quarterback of all people. Yeah. Like, that's where it pisses me off. But then again, well, he's not giving 100% on this curl route. Well, how many times are you going to have him run this curl route? Patullo, like, because of course he's going to get frustrated. And
if anybody not named AJ Brown, Saquon on this team did these things, it would not be acceptable, man. It would not be. And so, like, that's where I tread lightly because I love AJ Brown. I know he's a key part to this team. And don't get me wrong, when he's rolling, he's like literally my favorite player on the roster, man. But he's just a polarizing player when he's in these moods and rightful mood. Like, I'm not complaining about it. I'm not complaining about the mood. He has the right to be frustrated. It's just when you make it and take it off the field, man, that's when it just becomes a little too much. But I tread lightly because AJ Brown is so good. I want him on my team. I need him on my team, my favorite team. Jalen needs him. Everybody needs him on this team.
We're not getting to a Super Bowl if AJ Brown is gone. Again, I don't think he's going anywhere.
Agreed.
Like, it's a little concerned.
Agreed.
I'm not concerned. But no, you don't like, and I love Smitty, and we do have depth at the position that we're not utilizing right now. But everything changes if Devontae Smith has to become wide receiver 1. And Dotson and Mechie are the next 2 options. I don't care what the offensive line is. I don't care if Saquon Barkley's back there. I don't care how good our defense is. You do not get back to a Super Bowl without number 11. But I did love this as well, TR. Dude, this defense is just a bunch of studs, bro. Like, Q doesn't back down from anybody. Cooper DeJean's all over the field. He literally might be the best open field tackler in the National Football League.
Literally. And he's a tank, dude. Like, I don't know if you've seen my man's arm. Dude is a tank, dog. I was just like, damn, my man is really out there cracking heads. But no, I thought Coop and Q were awesome yesterday. I thought Q specifically played with just another level of grit. He looks like he's going to be the best corner in Eagles history. Like, that's what Q looks like right now to me. Just his mindset. It's not even about the field, right? Like, it is to an extent. You have to perform and meet the mindset, it's the confidence that he operates with, man. He is.
Right, but anyway, look, the defending champs are 4-0, and things aren't even going perfectly at the moment. The schedule eases up right now.
Figure some things out.
Win games to continue to clean things up, and let's keep this thing going. You know what's coming up as well? Just to touch on it before. Go ahead.
I wanted to ask you one question with the schedule coming up. Gonna play the Broncos, right? Is Patrick Surtain the perfect week to figure it out? It's too early for Broncos talk, but they're not playing good football.
Because with that, obviously would make you happy, would be thrilled to have them open up the passing game again. AJ gets involved in 6 days, and especially for it to be against one of the game's best corners. It'd be one of those see, look what they can. But then wouldn't that just drive me more insane?
How? How did you do that?
That would just drive me almost more crazy if they come out and shred the Broncos defense, which hasn't been as stout through 3 races as it was last year. But again, it is Surtain. And if he is going one-on-one with AJ, if AJ Brown comes out and goes for 6 for 98 and a tutty next week, how?
Right.
How? What are we doing?
Makes zero sense, man.
I don't know, but obviously we would be thrilled with it. But
absolutely,
we'll talk about that later on in the week. We'll continue to talk about the the Phils later on in the week, just to touch on it. Oh, what a glorious time it is. The wild card round for the MLB playoff starts tomorrow. And man, didn't there used to be a Mets fan in the chat that was up my ass last year around this time?
There was, man.
I forget, but
I forget his name.
Yeah, the second highest payroll in baseball, with the second best record in the major leagues in the middle of June, didn't make the postseason. So the Phillies will get the winner in the NLDS between the Dodgers and the Reds. I'm conflicted because part of me wants to support our other red and white wearing team, right? Part of me wants, get Shohei and Mookie the hell out of here. Bring it on. At the same time, I feel like I have learned my lesson about wanting the lesser competition because we've seen this movie with the Diamondbacks. The problem is this Reds team is nowhere near as talented as that Diamondbacks team was even 2 years ago. Yeah. I mean, I saw something earlier like, dude, the Reds are the first team in not a shortened season, like not a lockout and not the COVID year, in which they don't have a player registered with a batting average over 270, with a pitcher with batter, like they don't have a batter that hit like 20 or 23 home runs or something. Like they're just, I don't know how they got in the playoffs. So yes, I'm putting on my Reds cap against the Dodgers.
Give me the Dodgers, man.
You want the Dodgers?
I don't want those. I don't want the expectations going down. We need to bring the best team, best competition. Hey. Let's just get them out of here and get booming, man. As you were describing it, I'm just like, you know what that sounds like, Dylan? It sounds like a new low. And you know. I'm kidding, bro. I'm kidding. I'm completely joking, but it is from the frame of mindset like, let's just knock the big dogs out and let's get where we need to get to.
I'm ready for whoever comes to town. I'm ready for whoever.
I feel you. I'm just joking, brother.
Whether it's Yamamoto and Shohei and Blake Snell pitching against us in the first 3 games, or whether Hunter Green is on the mound in one of those first 3 games, I'm confident in whatever this team does. Jose, absolutely. Bring home that batting title. Trey was the only player to hit over 300 this year. So it's a very difficult feat. I already have Reds plus 1.5, Tigers,
okay. Getting ahead of it.
Padres for tomorrow. I like it, man. I know I should be looking right now. I did see, let me check before we pop off of here. I did see that total in the Guardians-Tigers game kicking off wild card tomorrow. It said 6, right? I'm a little intrigued. And I know it's playoff baseball, and I know it's Skubal on the mound. And the Tigers offense hasn't been good. But, like, man, 6? 6, I get a push? I don't know. I'm looking, man.
Sounds favorable.
Mookie, Ohtani, or your mommy. Phillies in 5. I hope it's not Phillies in 5, bro. I will be shitting my pants if it's Phillies in 5. Give me Phils in 4 at least, or something, man.
Fuck that. But yeah, TR, we definitely loving the black jerseys. The Jared McCain news was a little humbling, but I saw a report, man, that he should be back by the second week of the regular season.
Yeah, it's like 4 or 5 weeks or something.
So that's good news. Yeah, I'm thinking for the black jerseys, man, it might be my first Maxey jersey. I don't have a Maxey jersey yet. I've been hesitant to buy one the last few years just because of, the way things have been turning out. But it might be my time to get a Tyrese Maxey jersey.
Yeah, I'm going where TR is going. I already have a Maxey jersey. I think it's time to get that 77 in the closet.
That is tough.
Grab that VJ in the throwback black uni.
I was looking at McCain. Obviously I got the Duke ties there. The thing that would blow me with that is if he was like just you never know what could happen. He could be packaged in a deal to like obtain like another superstar. Maybe he gets packaged with Paul George. Like you just never know what happens with this fucking franchise. Yeah. That's good. Yeah, I don't know that McCain will be here in 2 years. So, like even if you think that's the wrong move, right? The Sixers would do it because they make the wrong move all the time. But
who am I to say that the Sixers are going to do the correct thing?
Paul George's jersey does look tough, like the number 8 in the black jersey, but like obviously I'm not buying that. Yeah, Marsh.
Let me ask you this before we get out of here.
What's good?
Say he starts the year like month and a half, 2 months in the season, and he looks like 2023 Paul George.
Make the All-Star game. Make the All-Star game.
Make the All-Star game, and you get okay.
Make the All-Star. Look, we could do an on-screen shake on that. If Paul George makes the Eastern Conference All-Star team, I don't even know if they're doing Eastern Conference and Western. They switched it up and doing like USA and like different countries.
No idea what they
international. If Paul George makes an All-Star roster, I will buy the Paul George jersey, even though it might be a sunken cost. Now playoffs, if you get us out of the second round of the playoffs, I'll buy anybody's jersey. Plus the black ones are tough as hell, but
they're nice, bro. They're really, really nice. But all right, exciting time,
everyone. That was fun.
Time. Martian, get ready to talk some pucks soon.
Hell yeah.
October 9th, the Flyers open up down in Florida, taking on the Panthers. I think their home opener is October 13th, also against the Panthers. So got a lot coming up, man. College basketball will be right around the corner as well at this point. So the best sports time of the year. Clocks will go back soon, and I'll go back to my seasonal depression per usual, and then we'll see. But over 42, or if it's 43 now, I don't know. In the Jets game tonight.
I want to say it shifted up to 44. I want to say, man.
Right. Well, I mean,
it's good for you, though.
Good for me, but like,
because I was gonna tell you, no, it's on ESPN. It's 43.5. I'll have to check it.
All that son of a bitch to 43 flats, got him.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah. We don't like to lose on any hooks around here, but all right, guys, that is going to do it for this Victory Monday edition of the Phaithful Phanatics show. It's going to be a weird week because later on the week, Friday, I'll be away. So me and Scotty will have to get the schedule straightened out.
Yes, sir.
We'll break down the Phillies NLDS matchup as soon as we know who they're playing, whether that be Wednesday or Thursday.
Yes, sir.
Eagles, Broncos talk, whatever else you guys want to get into, as long as you subscribe to the YouTube channel to get your comments posted up with us. So subscribe. As always, tap in. Go Birds, go Fightins. At this point, go Sixers.
Yeah,
we will see you guys later on in the week. Peace out, everybody, and enjoy your
Go
Monday
Flyers. Go Union. Go Birds.